Hello baseball fans, this is King Icky Boo coming to you live from the underground bunker, and we're going to play a little action PC baseball here today. And as you might know from previous videos, I'm doing a replay of the 1950 baseball season, and we are winding down the season. We are in September the 10th right now. And just to give you an idea of what is happening in the season, Brooklyn Dodgers are leading the National League by 5 games over the New York Giants. And the actual pennant winners that year, the Philadelphia Phillies, are 13 games behind. They're barely over 500. They're 68 and 67. And so you can pretty much say they're disappointing. Their starting pitching, it was dominant that year. It's not dominant in this replay. They have good ERAs, but they just don't get the run support when they need it. And the MVP Constanti, Jim Constanti, sorry about that. It's just hard in this game to replicate that kind of pitcher. Let's see if we can bring him up for you. In real life, he was a reliever. He pitched 74 times, and he had 152 innings. So he basically pitched every second day 2 innings. And the game seems to, when you have a reliever pitching that much, he gets tired. And actually, the AI doesn't put him in that much. You can see the season has about 30 games left, and he's only pitched in 45 games for 71 innings, so he just hasn't been in the games as much as in real life, and I think that was one factor as to why the Phillies are not winning. He has great numbers, better than real life, 139 ERA, 15 saves, a 7.3 record, but the way the Phillies played him that year, he was in every meaningful game, in every situation he was there, and if you play him that way in this game, he is constantly tired. And I think the Mike Marshalls of the 70s would be the same. It would be, that's not the way people, or pitchers are treated in these days, and so the game doesn't reflect that. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Phillies are not playing that well. But you can see that the Dodgers are leading it. In real life, they were 1 game behind. I think they lost in the last day of the season to the Phillies, so it was a really close race, but here it's not that close. I've been playing as the New York Giants. They probably have the best starting staff in the National League. And they've been fun to play as, and we're going to play as them today. We have a big game between New York and Brooklyn. That's the game we're going to play. In the American League, as you know, I've been playing as the Cleveland Indians, and they are still rolling. They have a record of 96 and 41. You just expect the Red Sox and the Yankees to make a push, but they just don't do it. Cleveland has just feasted on these last 4 teams, the bottom 4. The records I can perhaps show you if you're interested. Well, if you're not interested, you're going to see anyway. Cleveland has won 17 games against the White Sox. They've won 16 games against the Athletics, 19 against the Browns, and 14 against the Senators. They've struggled against the Red Sox. They've only won 9, and they've lost, let's see, where's Boston? Well, 11, 9 and 11. It's not struggling, but they're below 500 for a team that's 96 and 41. That's, so they're against the top teams. They're, here, I'm looking here. Yeah, 9 and 11. Against the top teams, they're like 500, but they just feasted on those bottom teams, and that's why they are so far ahead. So the races in both leagues are not really that interesting. The real interesting races are on the bottom, and I don't know if you knew, or I probably said this, but I not only have a World Series that I play, I have an anti-World Series, which is the bottom 2 teams played off to see who is the worst team in the team in 1950. And right now, the Cubs and the Pirates are battling it out for last place. Just when the Cubs think that they just had a 5-game lead 4 or 5 games ago, and the Pirates just hang on. Even though they've given up their best hitter or second best hitter, Johnny Hopp, they just gave him away to the Yankees. They still are plugging along and giving the Cubs all they can handle. And in the bottom, it was the same thing. The Athletics had a 5-6 games lead over the Browns, like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And the Athletics are on a run, beating the Yankees, sweeping the Yankees in New York on Labor Day in a doubleheader. And the Browns are faltering, so we really have a race for the bottom. Even the White Sox want to play as well. So we'll see who is going to get into the anti-World Series. That's the more interesting race of the two. The interesting thing I should have shown you when I had that up earlier is the Cubs. And as you know, I play as the Cubs. And I suspect that the Cubs will make a lot of appearance in the anti-World Series as I go through the 50s, as they had some really bad teams. The 51 Cubs team is worse than the 50 team, so that does not bode well for next season. But you can see that the Cubs have won 18 games against the Pirates to 3. 18 to 3. So the Cubs have just feasted on the Pirates. But the Cubs really don't do well against anyone else. They've only won 3 games against the Giants and lost. Where's the losses? They lost 17 games against the Giants. They've lost 11 to the Phillies, 12 Brooklyn. You know, they don't do well against anybody else except the Pirates. And the Pirates do better against those other teams, and that's why it's close. I mean, the Cubs should be way ahead of the Pirates, beating them 18 times and losing 3 or 17 times. But it's not that way. They're only a game apart because the Pirates play better against the rest of the league. So for the other statistics, Billy Goodman, who replaced Ted Williams when Williams went down with a broken elbow in the All-Star game, he has actually been flirting with 400. And his at-bats, his plate appearances are just above minimum to qualify for the batting title. Right now, Ted Williams is just reactivated and is now in a pinch-hitting role, but I'm assured that he will be in the starting lineup. Well, the interesting thing is, will he boot out Billy Goodman, who is going for 400? That's kind of interesting to geeks like myself. For the Indians, they have some top players in the batting races. Bobby Kennedy keeps on hitting. He's batting .338. Al Rosen, who has led this team the entire season, is still batting .321, but he's not hitting home runs like he used to and driving runs. Actually, the other players, I can't believe I can't remember his name after playing with him for so much. Luke Easter. Luke Easter is actually just on a roll. He has actually taken the lead in home runs and RBIs over Al Rosen, 34 to 33 and 121 or 117. He has led this team in the last half of the season. So it was good that when Rosen went in a slump, a slump for him, Easter just picked up the pace and it carried the team on his back. But as I said, we're going to be playing a game here on September 10th, and it's going to be an excellent pitching matchup between Don Newcomb, who's 18-7, versus Jensen, who is not pitching up to his capability. He was the ace of the Giants in 1950. You can see this is the computer stats, but in real stats, Larry Jensen was the ace of the staff, winning 19-13. He had one of the leading whips in the National League and a .308, but he's only 13-12 in the replay, and he's not pitching as well. He loses a lot of games. He doesn't get a lot of support. Some of the other pitchers get more support. They picked up a guy in real life in the waiver wire. Where is he? Maybe he's injured right now. Yeah, Hearn. I guess he's not available for a while. They picked this guy up. I don't know why he's not available. There's nothing here that would indicate that. But It picked him up, and in real life he was 11-3. But in the replay is very similar, 11-1. He is really the ace of the staff right now, but it's sad to see him not available. I don't know why that is true, but I imagine he'll still have a few starts this season. So we're gonna play some Giants baseball. I have the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants in 1960 replay, one video here on YouTube, but this is now the 1950 Dodgers versus Giants, but they're not in San Francisco and Los Angeles. They're still in Brooklyn and in New York. This game will be played at the Polo Grounds, and the two top teams in the National League are going at it here today. So you can see Don Newcomb. There's the lineup for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Pee Wee Reese at short, Hermansky in left, Duke Snyder in center, Gil Hodges in first, Carl Furillo. I don't know who this Morgan is. I think he's one of the scrubs that they put in for this game. Bruce Edwards and Billy Cox. So no good news for the Giants is that Roy Campanella is not playing today. He's given the day off, but he has just dominated the Giants all year long. So against Don Newcomb again, and here's the lineup for the Giants. I don't know why they play Mueller. I should look at 1949 and 1948. This Don Mueller must have been an incredible player, because he just stinks this year, but they keep playing him in third, and I take the liberties of moving around. I can't change players, okay? That's the rule that I have. I don't change the players, but I just move Don Mueller down. I only have, like, the leading hitter is Bobby Thomson. They play him in eighth all the time. I'll move him up. I won't put him loud, just move. Westrom's good, but he's a catcher. I want to save a few at-bats. So this is the lineup I'm going to go with here today. So welcome to Polo Grounds. The Polo Grounds are starting to, by this time, the reason why the Giants left New York, this park once was the jewel of the National League, is now running down and quite dilapidated. And but, you know, the picture is the same. We can't tell from this picture. It just looks like a postcard. But welcome to the Polo Grounds for today's game between Brooklyn and New York. Don Newcomb takes the mound for Brooklyn. He's made 29 starts on the year and is 18-7 with an ERA of 2.60. He's opposed by Larry Jensen. He's made 29 starts on the year, is 13-12 with an ERA of 3.60. It's 73 degrees, wind speed 15 miles an hour out to left, so we could have some bombs today. And yes, we will play ball. We have the lineup for Brooklyn, and now we'll have the lineup for New York. It's Eddie Stanky. He's just incredible on base. I think on base was everybody looked at batting average in those days. They kind of saw walks as kind of not totally man-like. The real men don't walk kind of thing. But we know today that walks are a devastating offensive weapon. Eddie Stanky would fit in today's baseball very well. He was a great player. Whitey Lockman is in left. Irvin, one of the first black players in the National League after, of course, Jackie Robinson is at first. Hank Thompson as third base. He's batting fourth. Bobby Thomson in center field, batting fifth. Alvin Dark, shortstop, batting sixth. Don Mueller, the before mentioned Don Mueller, batting seventh in right field, and Wes Westrom, the catcher, who is one of the leading hitters, but he's getting close to his threshold of at bats, so I'm putting down in the eighth spot, and then Larry Jensen is batting ninth. So here we go. The Giants are 74-57, and the Brooklyn Dodgers 78-51. The Giants are trying to close the gap before the end of the year. So here's Pee Wee Reese. He's batting .236, and he drives it to center, and Bobby Thomson catches it. Gene Hermansky, this is his last year as a Dodger. He gets traded next year Don't feel bad for the Dodgers giving up Gene Hermanski because they get Andy Pafko. It's one of the worst trades of all time. I'm sure next year, as I play the 1951 season, I'll be talking more about that. But what a horrible trade for the Cubs. But he is having a decent year. He is batting .301. He's really an extra outfielder for the Dodgers. But he's playing pretty well. Probably why the Cubs tried to get him, or did succeed in getting him. But he strikes out here. And here's Duke Snider. Great ball player. I remember him, color commentator for the Montreal Expos in the 70s when I was a kid. Enjoyed him very much. Seemed like it was sound like Grandpa on the television. Just very calming and very nice to listen to. Okay, so the Dodgers go down quickly in the first, and now here is Eddie Stanky. You can see his on-base percentage really accurate, .461. His slugging percentage a little bit higher than in real life, and his batting average a little higher. So he has 12 home runs to 8. He just sets the table for the Giants very well. And here he goes. Right now, as you know, until someone gets on base, it is one pitch mode. Now it switches to pitch by pitch. So Stanky, as usual, gets on base. I hate double plays. I know I bunt when I shouldn't bunt, but as you know, or if you watched a few videos of mine, I hate double plays. Okay, but Lockman, I like to bunt, and he has a 4 bunt. He bunts more, I'm sure. That's why his at-bats aren't even close to .531. He's almost 100 left with only about 30 games to play. Well, it could be on pace, but I do bunt a lot more with him than he probably did in real life. But for the viewing pleasure of the audience, I'm going to hit away. Ball 1. I like using the keypad, but so you can see the cursor. I'm going to use the clicker. And it's 1-1. And the temptation to bunt is getting more ferocious as each pitch occurs. There's the ball 2. Ball 3. Okay, maybe I shouldn't bunt. And a base hit. Okay, seems like anytime you have first to third, you have very low percentages. Either it just does it automatically, or the percentages are really low. Who wants to go and try it for 25% chance? I say no. So we have Monty Irvin. Forgot his first name earlier. Sorry, Mrs. Irvin, or his grandkids, I guess would be. That I forgot your grandpa's name. I don't remember my employees' names sometimes. That's why I give them nicknames. But anyway, Monty Irvin is up. And he's very good against right-handed pitchers and not as good as against left-handers. So he's a perfect guy for the third base, or third place in the batting order. He's going to swing away. He's not going to bunt. Don Newcomb in a little bit of trouble here in the first inning. Ball 1. And if you've watched any of the videos from 1950, there's just so many walks. It was, and as I mentioned before, the strike zone was actually changed in 1950. It used to be around the shoulders, and it went down to below the logo or insignia, around the armpits, I guess. So they went down about 3 or 4 inches, and the pitchers had a hard time adjusting to the new strike zone in 1950, and there were a lot of walks. And we have another hit. Okay, so should we send Stanky home with 53% with nobody out? I say no. We have some good arms in the outfield for the Dodgers. Carl Furillo is a 9, and Duke Snider's a 9. Hermanski, not so much. That's why he's in left field. But we'll be patient. Here's Hank Thomson. He is a decent player. He hasn't got close to his power numbers. He's getting on base okay. Hopefully he gets hot at the end of the year, and maybe the Giants make a run for first place. But if they're going to make a run for first place, they don't have many games left with the Dodgers. They've got to do it now. Strike 1 on Thomson here. That sounded good. It's deep, and it's off the wall. And will we send him 72%? I get thrown out so often. Furillo has a great arm. Nobody out. I am not. I'm sorry, but I've been burned so many times. I think 72%, that's almost certain, but no. Okay, here's the leading hitter for the Giants, Bobby Thomson. He only had a 252 average in real life, but he is hitting 304 in the replay. Almost reached his home runs, and he's already surpassed his RBI totals. So I don't know why they bat him 8th. I know, and if you remember 1951, he was actually the man who hit the shot heard around the world. You can look it up on Google it, and you'll know what I'm talking about that. Second and third, nobody out. Ball 1, strike. Ball 2, ball 3. This could be one of those intentional walks, or an unintentional walk, depending on which way you look at it. Okay, so get another hit, another run scores, and we will not send Thomson home, and we'll bring up Alvin Dark. I remember him in the early 70s. He was either the manager, I think he was the manager of the Athletics, after Williams was canned by Finley, Charles Finley. I should, before I come up with these obscure references, I guess they're not obscure for some of you, I should, think about these things. But that's what comes to mind sometimes when I think of Alvin Dark. He's having a pretty decent year. He's pretty close to his stats for real life. And it's ball 1 to him, strike 1. Newcomb is gives up another hit. He's off to a dreadful start, and it's now 4-0. No, we've been good with this patient stuff, and it's working for us. Here's our man Don Mueller. Doesn't walk ever. As you can see, he had a 291 average in real life and a 309 on base. So how many walks is that? Not very many. My replay just doesn't come through. 265. He had 84 RBIs in real life, only 54 in the replay. Numbers way down. Just don't get the hype. But he's going to hit away here. Still nobody out. This could be a blowout for you Dodger fans. And he makes the first out. Not surprising. And here's Wes Westrom. That's a great name, I think. Wes Westrom. He is playing very well. He has sparkling defense behind the plate for the Giants, and has got some power. Giants don't have superstars, but they have a lot of solid players. The Dodgers have a bunch of superstars. This is very unusual for all the games that I've played between these two teams this year. Usually the Dodgers are on top, but there's still a lot of time. And he's out, so now it brings up Larry Jensen. It's always good when you come up as a pitcher in the first inning, and he does that as usual. I think it seems to me pitchers get more hits in this game than in real life. Usually not my pitchers either. It's the opposing pitchers. That's why I don't like intentionally walking the 8th place hitter. Oh, see, speaking of a hit, and he doubles. Oh, I guess I was sleeping. It's Carl Furillo. That's one thing I like about the PC replay. You have a big announcement that's a new inning. Sometimes when I'm yapping here on the video, I forget, lose track of who's pitching. So probably screaming at your computer screen there, and I apologize. No, that was Carl Furillo hitting that solid double there. Here's Bobby Morgan. His name was Bobby, as half the players on the planet then, or in the majors, were named Bobby. Don't get too many Bobbies anymore. And you see, it's still early, and here come the Dodgers. Even Bobby Morgan gets a hit. And here's Bruce Edwards. He is the backup catcher. Very little average, but he has some pop. 6 home runs and 93 at-bats. I think the Dodgers are hoping for that here. He has a 6% chance of a home run. He drives it deep. It's off the wall. So don't feel sorry for the Dodgers. They have already scored 2 runs. I'm not going to throw home. I'm going to keep the guy on second base. And the Dodgers are back in the ball game, 4-2. Jansen is he's not used to having some run support, and as a result, he is pitching horribly at this point. Don Newcomb, one of those pitchers who seems to be able to get the clutch hits. Ball 1. And there's another hit. So both pitchers have not come out in fine form here today. So we have bases loaded and 1 out, 2 runs already in, and Jansen pitching balls here. Do we dare pitch an aggressive? Usually this is when it's crushed. When you use the aggressive pop, of course he's not going to get to it. Not much foul territory here at the Polo Grounds. And you think, okay, here comes a possible double play, but Alvin Dark flubs it. So we got a 4-3 ball game. Like I said, lots of offense here in 1950. Oh, he caught it. Very good. Always got to congratulate a player when he catches a pop fly. I'm not bitter or anything. I just thought I had a nice chance of winning this game, but it's going to be a bloodbath. And we're out of the inning. 3 runs. Okay, so here's Stanky. Hopefully he can get on base again. And he does. You can usually rely on him. Whitey Lockman is up. He singled in the first inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hopefully this gets out of play, and it does. 2 strikes. Notice the average just drops to nothing when he gets 2 strikes. And we have a double play. Yes, we do. Should have bunted, see? And here's Irvin. Irvin gets hits. He about a bunted. They had a run. Given that, of course, assuming that the bunt would have been successful, of course. Hank Thomson. Here comes Sept. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1. And easy ground ball. And we're out of the inning. Or they're out of the inning. Here's Gil Hodges. Oh, he fielded it this time, so I guess wasn't got a little nervous with the bases loaded, I guess, and that's why that happened. Here's Furillo, who started that mess off last inning, and he continues his ferocious work with the bat, and he is on base. And this is the guy who should not have continued setting the table. Bobby Morgan. He's only batting 185 for the season, but came up with a big hit there last inning. And that one's foul. And he gets an infield hit. So he's 2 for 2. And here's another guy. I mean, this guy's batting 181, and he hit one off the wall last time. Jansen is not pitching like the ace. And a line drive to Thomson and Billy Cox. He is Mr. All Glove No Hit. And it seems like the third base used to be like seen as like shortstop, where you had to have a slick fielding third baseman. Nowadays it's more power hitting position, but back then they were willing to put up with only a glove guy there. Okay, so we were out of the inning, and let's I'm going to pay close attention, make sure what happened that one inning, they don't bleed together. Here's Bobby Thomson, and he is out. Alvin Dark, he is out. And Don Mueller, he is out. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like Don Newcomb has settled down nicely. Hopefully Jansen does the same. No, the pitcher gets another hit. And usually that's a threshold. When 17%, I usually take them off. Okay, ball one, bunt. He goes to first and he gets him out. See, they bunt. Hermansky. You do not want to walk Hermansky with Duke Snider on deck, but it usually seems to be what happens. He's a very patient hitter, but he's got 2 strikes now and foul. Infield hit. Second time. And now Snider. The table is set for the Duke. Drives it foul. Ball one. Strike. Fouled it off. Whoa. Caught the catcher in a real bad spot. I wonder what spot he's referring to. Struck him out. Well, it's not over yet. He got that murderer's row with Gil Hodges next. You know, just think of this team when they have Jackie Robinson in the lineup and Roy Campanella. You can see why they're in first place. I don't know. They seem to be a lot better team than the Phillies, not just because of this replay, but if you just look at the numbers, I think they really collapsed. If you look at the history of 1950, I think they had the lead, and or it could be the other way around. Phillies had the lead and they collapsed. And the Dodgers, it was close at the end. That's all I know. I can't remember who was the one that collapsed. But you just look at this lineup, and yeah, they should be where they are. I think this is accurate. Okay, so they're out of the inning, and bottom of the 4th now. The Giants, Wes Westrom, and he gets a single, so you know what's going to happen here. He is going to bunt. No questions asked. He's an excellent bunter as well. Okay, so we have a man in scoring position for Eddie Stanky. Hits it hard, but right to Billy Cox, and he's playing second base today, but normally he plays third. So it's up to Whitey Lockman to drive in this run. He has 60 RBIs on the season, but not this time, and they're out of the inning. So both pitchers seem to be settling down after that rocky start. But speaking too soon, here's Carl Furillo, who's 2 for 2, and that should be easy. He puts it away. Bobby Morgan, Captain Morgan, I guess, as he's known to his friends. Bruce Edwards sits on the bench most of the time, and he's out. And we're now in the bottom of the 5th. Monty Irvin. Wish Monty Irvin had more at bats. There you go, some power. Number 11. The Polo Grounds going crazy at this point. 5-3. Just talking about how I wish that they would have played him more. I don't know if he was injured. He only had 300 and some at bats. Definitely was one of their best hitters. Probably was hurt. And Thomson pops up. Of course, because I built him up so much, he's gonna have a bad game. Come on, if that was them, that would have been an infield hit. I'm not bitter or anything. Okay, we're in the top of the 6th. Billy Cox, and he's out. Newcomb, who's 2 for 3. Whoa, wasn't an infield hit. And Pee Wee Reese. And 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Newcomb's pitched 95 pitches. You can see his maximum is 140. Pitchers pitched a lot more pitch. They weren't babied, and yeah, there were pitcher injuries, but with all the technological advances, you'd think that these guys would be. But I mean, I don't know if they just pitched a lot more, or they weren't babied like they are today. I'm sorry, but like with what's that pitcher's name from Washington? You hit 160 innings, and we gotta take him out even though we're in first place and go into the playoffs. I mean, that just seems strange to me. These guys pitched 267 innings, 300 innings, and Newcomb pitched a lot of years. I mean, maybe there's, I don't know. If you want to put in the comments what your theory is on that, how there's so many more injuries today with pitchers, and they only pitch 200 innings. It's like, oh, we gotta sit him down when he hits 200 innings, and back then they pitched 300 innings without a sweat. And he line drive, and he is out. Sorry for the rant. Here is Jansen. He's pitched 103 pitches, and he has a maximum of 140. So we're in the 7th. We're still 5-3. Anybody's ball game at this point. Hermansky's down. That is always good to have him down in front of Duke. Line drive, and he's out. And Gil Hodges struck him out. Jansen is settling down. Okay, Stanky. Stanky has walked, singled, and grounded the second. Struck him out. That doesn't happen a lot. Okay, Whitey Lockman. He gets on. So Irvin is 3 for 3 with a home run. Scored 2 runs. He has lined a single, singled, and a home run. Ball 1. Strike. Drives it. Send him to third with 19%. No. Thomson. He is 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. He doubled and scored 2 runs in the first. Hasn't done anything since. Change up, ball 1. Uh-oh, double play, ball 1, 2. Inning over. Does it seem like Carl Furillo is always up? Could be my imagination. He's always getting hits as well. Bobby Morgan, 2 for 3. That kind of, yeah, I won't say anything about that. Strike. Just don't get rattled, Jansen. I know you're a little computer guy, but I like to imagine they're human beings with feelings and pressures. Okay, Bruce Edwards. He drives it foul. Ball 1. Gotta keep an eye on Furillo. Will he go? No. He fluctuates per pitch on his percentage of stolen base chance. 1. He's got 8 strikeouts today, Jansen. He is the leader in baseball in strikeouts with 179. Yeah. Sandy Koufax hasn't made his debut yet. And he walks him. Could be starting to tire. We will quickly check the go to the mound and see how he's doing. He is strong. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad he puts his time in the weight room. Okay, here's Billy Cox. If it was not the bottom of the order, I'd probably think about, although the Giants just don't have any bullpen to speak of. Uh-oh, he is... Okay. Let's see what we got here. You could look here, but doesn't really tell you. These mostly are starters. I like to look at this better. Hearn is... Oh, he wasn't available then, but he's available now. But he does... I like to look at who starts incoming. I don't want to pitch someone who starts tomorrow, for instance. They have the day off tomorrow, and then Jones pitches. So, yeah, I can use some guys. And I probably will. Okay, we got a couple left-handers and Reese. Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Sorry about that. Reese, he is better. He's pretty even. Lefty versus righty. So how about Newcomb? I know. If you're watching this video, you're probably interested in this kind of thing. He's pretty even as well. I mean, righty-lefty splits. So it really doesn't matter. They got this kid here they just brought up, Spencer. You know, he had an incredible run there. But in my game, he has an 8.31 ERA. Of course, he's only had 4.1 innings pitched. But against right-handers, I mean, he just had a couple of lucky hits against left-handers. I think I might use him today, some point. Magley pitched yesterday. He's a guy who was in the bullpen the first half of the season. Just tough to get 200. He's kind of like Constanti. I guess that's how you pronounce it. He probably had 100 and some innings pitched in the bullpen. It's just tough to duplicate that in this game. Spencer, Kozlow, Jones is the starter. Let's put in Kozlow. Kozlow Kramer. So he will go. I don't play with the warm-up rule. I mean, the other team doesn't go by the warm-up rule, so why should I? You can play that way if you want, but yeah, I think you're just making it harder for yourself because the AI doesn't have to abide by those rules. Okay, let's see if we can get out of this thing. Strike one. Double play would be just wonderful at this point. 2 strikes. Ball 1. Newcomb's waiting for his pitch. Will he give it to him? Double play, please. Okay, double play. Yes, we're out of the inning. Good job, Kozlow. Okay. And here's Bobby Thomson, another out. He's 1 for 4. That's not too bad. Alvin Dark's 1 for 3. Struck him out. Newcomb is still pitching well. Mueller hits it hard, but right to somebody, and it's 1-2-3. Kozlow. Yeah, we got 2 left-handers coming up, so we're going to leave him in the game. See if he can close this one out. He walks somebody. Pee-wee. Okay. Oh, Hermansky's good against left-handers. Although it's not showing up here. An 0.83 average. Probably a few at-bats, maybe 5 at-bats in the game compensates for that. Oh, they bring in Tommy Brown. Will we allow it? What choice do I have? Here's Tommy Brown. We got Snyder on deck. Snyder, he's quite a bit better against righties, so we will tolerate Tommy Brown. I don't think they're going to bunt. Yeah, they're down by 2, so no, he came up to hit. And hit he did. Okay, Snyder, we got... This is his last batter that he's going to face today. Foul. Weakly. Didn't look very weakly to me. Ball 2. Come on, Kozlow. He drives it deep, but it's caught. Okay. Goodbye, Mr. Kozlow. I don't know if we bring them that rookie. Oh, that'd be, in real life, no sweat. Bring in Spencer. He was incredible. But, I think the game compensates for these 25 innings pitched guys, and he doesn't pitch like he... but look at this. I mean, 0.73. Let's see. Let's go test it. Because he should really dominate. But the game, because he has so few innings pitched, it says, well, that was a freak of nature, so we're going to make him horrible. But here he goes. Young whippersnapper versus the power of the Dodgers. First and second, one out. He clobbers it. Bad move, manager. Gone. Number 30 for Gil Hodges. And George Spencer, welcome to the major leagues. Yeah, I'm keeping him in. So we struck him out. So now the Dodgers are up. 1 pitch. Goodbye, Mr. Baseball. Okay, here we got one last chance. Wes Westrom fouls it off. 2-2 to Westrom. Ahead all game and blow it in the 9th. Okay, well, Mr. Spencer, it was nice knowing you, but you're leaving the ball game, and we are going to bring in who? I do like to look at it, the bench. Yes, we know pitcher's batting. Okay, you think this guy would be getting tired. Hartung. I've used him. He's a pitcher, but he's kind of a part-time pitcher, part-time hitter. He has a 471, so we're going to bring him in. Yes, he's good. Hopefully, he's over his limit. You think that he'd be giving up some gopher balls here, and hopefully he does to Mr. Hartung. Strikeout. Okay, one last. Eddie Stanky, the last hope. He walks, of course. Big surprise. Whitey Lockman. Lockman is singled and grounded out 3 times. No, it's a single. Always go by the grounded. Should put single so it doesn't fool people like me. Okay, Whitey Lockman. Come on, keep it going. Ball 1. Strike. Ball 2. Ball 3. Come on, get on for Monty Irvin. He hits it, and he's out. Game is over. Now, you might think that I film every game and just put the good ones on the internet. That is not the case. It just seems that the games I record are good games, and this one was good, although I didn't like the outcome. That puts the Giants 6 games behind Brooklyn. And here's the... yeah, it was not pretty. And Spencer had a plus stuff. I don't know about this plus plus so many times when a pitcher comes in and he has plus stuff or plus stuff and he just dreadful. It's supposed to be he comes in with feeling great. I guess that can happen in real life too. But anyway, here's the box score, and surprisingly Gil Hodges is the MVP of the game. He hit that big 3-run homer at the top of the 9th, so I guess we'll grant him that. Yes, we feel sorrow. Now the standings. New York is 6 games behind. Yes, it looks more and more like a Brooklyn Dodger Cleveland Indian World Series, but we still have 3 weeks to go. Anything can happen. But I definitely will be putting on those games on the internet for you guys to view. I hope you enjoyed this game. I think you did if you're a Dodger fan, not so much Giant fan. But glad to bring it to you, and hope you had fun. I did. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.